ቤዚካሊ ጥያቄዎችን ፕሮጀክታይል ሞሽን ላይ ስንሰራ ጥያቄዎችን የትኛው ሞሽን ላይ ነው ካታጎራይዝ የሚሆኑት የሚለውን መጀመሪያ መለየት በጣም አስፈላጊ ይሆናል። ስለዚህ which one is related with vertical projection, which one is related with horizontal projection, and which one related with inclined projection የሚሉትን ነገሮች መጀመሪያ ከለየን በኋላ ከዛ በቀላሉ ኢኩዌሽኖችን ሪማይንድ እያደረግን እንሰራለን ማለት ነው። so let's see the first question. ስለዚህ የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ ምንድነው የሚለው what is the vertical velocity for a ball? What is the vertical velocity for a ball which is dropped from a height of what? 80 meter. So let's see the givens. So from the given vertical displacement is given h is equals to 80 meter. ከዛም ተሰጥቶናል acceleration due to gravity 10 meter per second square. So how to find final vertical velocity of a ball which is dropped from a height of 80 meters? ስለዚህ ባለፈው እንዳልኳችሁ ሁሉ ጊዜም ከመጀመሪያው ኢኩዌሽን መነሳት ትችላላችሁ። otherwise ፋይናል ኢኩዌሽኑን ካወቃችሁት በቀላሉ እሱን መጠቀም ትችላላችሁ ማለት ነው። you know s or displacement s is equals to ut plus half of what 80 square. ስለዚህ አሁን ጥያቄውን ስናየው the ball is dropped from a height of 80 ሜትር። ስለዚህ ከ80 ሜትር ከፍታ ላይ ኦልሬዲ ፍሪ ፎል ነው ያደረገው ወይንም ድሮፕድ አድርጓል እስከተባለ ድረስ initial velocity is 0, then h is equals to v naught times t plus 1 over 2 g t squared. So initial velocity of the ball is 0, then h is equals to 1 over 2 what? g t square. 1 over 2 g t square. ስለዚህ መጀመሪያ ፍላይት ታይሙን ኦልሬዲ ማግኘት ይኖርባቸዋል። እንትኑን ለማግኘት vertical velocity ለማግኘት መጀመሪያ at what time the ball reaches on the ground. So from this the time taken or flight time of the ball t is equals to under the square root of what? Times of h over g. Then the time taken t is equals to under the square root of 2 times of what? 80 meter divided by acceleration due to gravity which is 10 meter per second square. ስለዚህ ታይሙ ስንት ይሆንልናል? 160 ሲካፈል 10 16 ከራዲካል ሲወጣ which is what? 4 second. If it is the flight time ስለዚህ at this time already ኳሱ መሬት ላይ ደርሷል ማለት ነው። ተጠየቅነው ደግሞ ምንድነው? ፋይናል ቨርቲካል ቬሎሲቲ። አሁን ቨርቲካል ቬሎሲቲ ስትባሉ ፋይናል ሊሆን ይችላል ላይሆን ይችላል። at 2 second at 3 second at 4 second በተለያየ በዛ ታይም መሬት ላይ እስከሚደርስበት ድረስ የተለያየ ቨርቲካል ቬሎሲቲ ይኖረዋል። but the required is final vertical velocity of the ball. ስለዚህ ፋይናል ታይሙን አግኝተናል። ስለዚህ በቀላሉ ምንድነው የምናደርገው? you know v is equals to u plus 1 80. So vertical velocity or vy is equals to v naught plus min g times t. already initial velocity እዚህ ጋር 0 ስለሆነ vertical velocity vy is equals to 10 meter per second square multiplied by which is what? The total flight time which is 4 seconds. So the answer is vertical velocity is equals to what? 40 meter per second. ስለዚህ አጠቃላይ vertical velocity when the ball is reached at the ground level 40 meter per second ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው። So the answer is B. So this is all about question number 1. So let's proceed to the second one. ስለዚህ ሁለተኛው ጥያቄ ደግሞ an arrow is fired vertically with an initial velocity of 35 meter per second. This is all about question number 1. question number 2 ላይ ስንመጣ ደግሞ an arrow is fired vertically with an initial velocity of 35 meter per second. v naught is equals to 35 meter per second. vertically upward ነው የሚለው። ስለዚህ what is the velocity after 6 seconds? ከ6 ሰከንድ በኋላ vertical velocity ምን ሊሆን ይችላል? ከ6 ሰከንድ በኋላ vertical velocity ምን ያህል ይሆናል? So the initial speed which is given to the body is given which is 35 meter per second. ስለዚህ በቀላሉ አሁንም ቅድም እንዳልኳችሁ ከመጀመሪያው ኢኩዌሽን መነሳት ትችላላችሁ። you know velocity v is equals to u plus ምን a times t። እዚህ ጋር ማስተዋል ያለብን ግን ምንድነው the arrow is vertically what the arrow is fired vertically upward, so initial velocity is acting in upward direction and also its acceleration due to gravity is acting downward። ስለዚህ አንዱን ማይነስ ግዴታ ማድረግ ግዴታ ነው ማለት ነው። so vertical velocity vy is equals to v naught minus g times t ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው። so vertical velocity at t is equals to 6 seconds is equals to 35 meter per second minus 10 meter per second square multiplied by 6 second. then vertical velocity at t is equals to 6 second ከ6 second በኋላ 35 meter per second minus which is what 10 meter per second square multiplied by 6 second which is 60 meter per second. second per second ይጣፋል። so vertical velocity vy at t is equals to 6 second is equals to 35 minus 60 meter per second which is 25 meter per second which is what minus አሁን እዚህ ጋር vertical velocity negative 25 meter per second. so the answer is b። ለምን ኔጌቲቭ ሆነ ልትሉ ትችላላችሁ። እዚህ ጋር መጀመሪያ ምን ብለናል? ኢኒሺያል ቬሎሲቲ ቨርቲካሊ አፕዋርድ ስለነበር ፖዚቲቭ አድርገናል አይደል? ስለዚህ አክሰለሬሽን ዲዩ ቱ ግራቪቲ which is downward ስለዚህ ማይነስ እስካረግን ድረስ አሁን ቨርቲካል ቬሎሲቲው ኔጌቲቭ 25 ሜትር ፐር ሰከንድ መጣልን ማለት at 6 second the object is moving downward። ስለዚህ 6 ሰከንድ ላይ ኦብጀክቱ ወደ ታች እየተመለሰ መሆኑን በቀላሉ ከዚህ አንደርስታንድ ማድረግ እንችላለን ማለት ነው። moving the object is moving downward ብለን አንደርስታንድ ማድረግ እንችላለን ማለት ነው። so this is all about question number 2. let's proceed to the third question. ሶስተኛው ጥያቄ ላይ ስንመጣ ደግሞ question number 3. a bullet is fired horizontally from the roof of the building 20 meter high. ስለዚህ አሁን ጥያቄውን አስተውላችሁ ከሆነ አንደኛውና ሁለተኛው ጥያቄ ላይ የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ ምን ነበር የሚለው the object is freely fall or dropped from a certain height። ስለዚህ እሱ vertical projection ነበር ማለት ነው። ሁለተኛው ጥያቄ ምን ነበር የሚለው an arrow is fired vertically upward። ስለዚህ straight vertically upward እስከሆነ ድረስ እሱ vertical projection ላይ ነበር የሚጠቃለለው። እዚህኛው ላይ ስንመጣ ግን a bullet is fired horizontally from the roof of a building which is 20 meter high ከ20 ሜትር ከፍታ ላይ straight horizontally ነው ፋየር የተደረገው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ አሁን የኛው የተካተታል ማለት ነው horizontal projection ላይ እንደሚካተት ካወቀን which one equation is preferable to solve what the required። ስለዚህ የተጠየቁን ጥያቄዎች በቀላሉ መለየት እንችላለን ማለት ነው። so a bullet is fired horizontally from the roof of a building which is 20 meter high and has an initial velocity of 20 meter per second. the height of the building is given which is 20 meter. any other given initial velocity which is given to what the bullet is yes 20 meter per second 20 meter per second ነው ተብላችኋል። okay so how far will the bullet travel horizontally to hit the ground? so what the required here ምን የተጠየቀ ይመስላችኋል? አሁን ኦብጀክቱ ከተነሳበት እስከ አረፈበት ምን ያህል ሆሪዞንታሊ ምን አረገ ነው ዲስፕሌስ አረገ which is the so called what horizontal displacement or range of the projectile። ስለዚህ የሬንጅ ፎርሙላ horizontal projection ላይ ምን ነበር ብላችሁ ማስተዋል ነው። vertical projection ላይ horizontal projection ላይ inclined projection ላይ ኢኩዌሽኖቹ የተለያዩ ስለሆኑ you know that displacement s is equals to velocity multiplied by what the time taken, which means that horizontal displacement along x is equals to horizontal velocity multiplied by what flight time. range is equals to horizontal velocity which is what initial velocity v naught which is the same throughout the flight። አጠቃላይ horizontal velocity constant ነው initially በ20 ሜትር ፐር ሰከንድ ስሮ ከተደረገ ወይም ፋየር እስከተደረገ ድረስ አጠቃላይ horizontal velocity constant ስለሆነ or uniform ስለሆነ v naught is the same as vx times min flight time, which is the same as what? 2 times of h over min over g over g. ስለዚህ ከዚህ ሪአሬንጅ እያደረግን በቀላሉ ማግኘት እንችላለን። range or horizontal displacement is equal to horizontal velocity, which is 20 meter per second multiplied by under square root of 2 times of what? 20 meter divided by acceleration due to gravity, which is, let's take 10 meter per second square under square root. Then range is equal to 2 times 20, which is 40, right? Divided by 10, which is 4. Radical ሲወጣ ስንት ይሆናል? 2. 2 times of 20, which is 40 meter. ስለዚህ the blade displaces 40 meter from what? The base of the building. ስለዚህ ከቢልዲንጉ ቤዝ እስካረፈበት ያለው horizontal displacement ወይም range 40 ሜትር ነው ማለት ነው። so the answer is B። መልሳችን B ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው። B ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው። so this is all about question number 3. let's see question number 1. አራተኛው ጥያቄ ላይ ስንመጣ ደግሞ if a stone is thrown horizontally, the length of the time it will stay in the air depends on ይላል። so the stone is thrown what? horizontally, which is horizontal projection. ስለዚህ horizontal projection ላይ ደግሞ ማን በምን ዲፔንድ ይሆናል? flight time በምንድን ነው ዲፔንድ የሚሆነው? range በምንድን ነው ዲፔንድ የሚሆነው? የሚሉትን ነገሮች በባለፈው ቪዲዮአችን ለማየት ሞክረናል። ስለዚህ the length of the time it will stay in the air depends on ወይንም flight time ዲፔንድ የሚሆነው በምኑ ነው? flight time ዲፔንድ የሚሆነው በምኑ ነው? a the height from which you throw the stone በሄይቱ ዲፔንድ ይሆናል ይለናል። b ላይ ስንመጣ the height from which you throw what? the stone and its initial speed በሄይቱና በኢኒሺያል ስፒዱ አይወሰናል ነው የሚለው። c ላይ ስንመጣ ደግሞ the stone only the stone's initial speed ይለናል and d the horizontal distance to the point where it hits the ground በሆሪዞንታል ዲስፕሌስመንቱ ዲፔንድ ይሆናል ነው። ስለዚህ question number 4 you know that it is a horizontal projection ላይ ይካተታል እስካለ ድረስ height h is equals to 1 over 2 gt square አይደለ? initial speed 0 ስለሆነ ስለዚህ flight time is equals to under square root of what? 2 times of h over g አይደል? so flight time or time of flight in a horizontal projection depends on only the initial height of the projectile. ስለዚህ በኦብጀክቱ initial height ብቻ ይወሰናል ነው። let's proceed to question number 5. a blade shoot horizontally from a gun, then the blade a strike the ground much later than the one dropped vertically from what? the same point at the same instant ነው የሚለው። ስለዚህ አንደኛውን with the same height drop freely fall ቢያደርግና አንደኛው ኢኒሺያል ስፒድ ተሰጥቶት ሆሪዞንታሊ ሙቭ የሚያደርግ ከሆነ በተመሳሳይ ስፒድ ያርፋሉ ወይስ አያርፉም? which one is ቀድሞ የሚደርሰው የትኛው ነው የሚለውን ለመለየት ባለፈው ምን ብለናል? flight time ዲፔንድ የሚሆነው በማን ነው ብለናል? በሄይት ነው ብለናል። ስለዚህ ኢኒሺያል ስፒዱ 0ም ሆነ 5ም ሆነ 10ም ሆነ አጠቃላይ ቡሌቱ መሬት የሚያርፍበትን ጊዜ አይወስነውም ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የአንድ ኦብጀክት መሬት ላይ የሚያርፍበት ጊዜ በሄይት የሚወሰን ከሆነ ስለዚህ at any speed ፋየር የተደረገው ኦብጀክት እና ፍሪሊ ፎል ያደረገው ኦብጀክት at the same time መሬት ላይ ይደርሳሉ ነው። ባለፈው ዲስከሽናችን ላይ በደንብ ስላየ ነው። ስለዚህ the answer is C where a blade strike the ground approximately what? the same time as the one dropped which is vertically from the same point at the same instant. ስለዚህ በእኩል ታይም ኢኒሺያል ስፒድ ሆሪዞንታሊ የተሰጠው ፍሪሊ ፎል ያደረገው ኦብጀክት at the same time መሬት ላይ ይደርሳሉ ማለት ነው። ሁለቱ ልዩነት ሊሆን የሚችለው አንደኛው የሚያርፈው on the base of the building ነው። ሁለተኛው ወይም ኢኒሺያል ስፒድ የተሰጠው ኦብጀክት ከቤዝ ኦፍ the building ርቆ ሊወድቅ ይችላል እንጂ መሬት ላይ የሚደርስበት ታይም ተመሳሳይ ነው ማለት ነው። Okay, let's see question number 6. Question number 6 said that the projectile is thrown from the top of the building with a horizontal velocity of 2 meters per second. ስለዚህ አሁን እዚህ ጋር በተመሳሳይ ኦብጀክቱ ወይም ፕሮጀክታይሉ ስሮ የተደረገው from a certain height up 2 meters per second straight horizontally ነው ብለናል። So this is also categorized under horizontal projection. ስለዚህ let's see the givens. Question number 6. Question number 6. ስድስተኛው ጥያቄ ላይ ምን ተሰጥቶናል? Horizontal velocity v naught is the same as v naught x which is the same as vx ስንት ነው የተሰጠን? yes 2 ሜትር per second 2 ሜትር per second ተሰጥቶናል። ስለዚህ የተጠየቅነው ምንድነው ነው the projectile lands on a straight 8 meters from the base of the building. So the horizontal displacement or range is given. Range is 8 meters from the base of the building. ስለዚህ ከቢልዲንጉ ቤዝ ኦብጀክቱ ካረፈበት ያለው horizontal displacement 8 ሜትር ነው ተብለናል። So what is the general formula to determine what how high is the building? አሁን ቢልዲንጉ ምን ያህል ከፍታ አለው ወይንም ማክሲመም ሄይቱ ምን ያህል ነው ነው ኦልሬዲ horizontal displacement ይሄን ያህል ነው ከተባልን ማክሲመም ሄይት ነው ግዴታ ልናገኝ የምንችለው ምክንያቱም ቶታል ፍላይት ታይም በቀላሉ ማግኘት እንችላለን ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ from the formula we know range or horizontal displacement is equals to horizontal velocity v naught multiplied by what? Total flight time which is the same as v naught times min 2 times of h over min g አይደል? horizontal projection ላይ flight time በቀላሉ በዚህ ፎርሙላ እንደምናገኝ ቅድም አይተናል። ስለዚህ range or horizontal displacement is equals to v naught under square root of 2 times of h or the height of the building divided by g. So the required is how high is the building? The building height ምን ያህል ነው? So the required is h. ስለዚህ h ለማግኘት we have to square what? Both sides square ማድረግ እንችላለን. Then r square is equals to v naught the whole square times what? 2 times of h over g. So r square g is equals to v naught square times min 2 አይደል? ስለዚህ በቀላሉ ሪአሬንጅ ስናደርገው ምንድነው ሊሆን የሚችለው? ታይምስ እዚህ ጋር ማን አለች? h ትኖረናለች። So divided by times of v naught square divided by times of v naught square. So v naught square cancel with v naught square. So the remaining thing here is that h or height of the building which is the same as horizontal displacement r the whole square times g divided by 2 times of initial speed which is given to the projectile the whole square which is the same as ስንት ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው? r is 8 meter the whole square multiplied by 10 meters per second square over 2 times of initial speed v naught which is yes 2 meters per second the whole square. ስለዚህ ስንት ይሆንልናል? 8 square which is 64 multiplied by 10 640 divided by ምን ሆነልን እዚህ ጋር 2 square which is 4 times 2 which is 8 አይደል እንዴ? ስለዚህ ሌሎች ኤስአይ ዩኒቶች ካንሰል ሆኖ ምን ይቀርናል? ሜትር። ስለዚህ 640 ሲካፈል ለ8 ይሆንልናል 80 meter. So this is all about the height of the building. ስለዚህ horizontal displacement 8 ሜትር የሚመጣ ከሆነ አጠቃላይ ማክሲመም ሄይቱ ወይንም የቢልዲንጉ ሄይት 80 ሜትር ይሆናል ማለት ነው። So the answer is C መልሳችን ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ወደ ሰባተኛው ጥያቄ ስንመጣ ደግሞ አሁን ቅድም እንዳልኳችሁ ጥያቄውን በደንብ አንደርስታንድ ማድረግ የመጀመሪያው ስራ ነው የሚሆነው። A ball is thrown at an angle of 30 degree above the horizontal with a velocity of 20 meters per second. ስለዚህ ቅድም እስካሁን ያየናቸው ጥያቄዎች የመጀመሪያዎቹ ሁለቱ vertical projection ላይ ካተቱ ነበር። ከዛ የቀሩ ጥያቄዎች ደግሞ horizontal projection ላይ ነበር። ይሄኛው ደግሞ ምን ይለናል? The ball is thrown at an angle of 30 degree above the horizontal. So this is categorized under inclined projectile or a projectile which is projected at an angle. Let's see question number 7. Given ስለዚህ inclined projection ነው ካልን በኋላ the projection angle is given which is 30 degree with the velocity of what 20 meter per second 20 meter per second ነው so what is the vertical component of its velocity after 1 second vertical velocity ከአንድ ሰከንድ በኋላ ምን ያህል ይሆናል ስለዚህ ባለፈው ምን ብለናል when the object is projected at an angle with an initial velocity v naught initial velocity so initial horizontal velocity v naught x which is the same as what v naught cos theta ብለናል አይደል እንዴ initial vertical component ደግሞ ምንድነው የሚሆነው v naught y which is the same as v naught sin theta for a projectile which is projected at an angle theta በሆነ አንግል ፕሮጀክት የተደረገ ፕሮጀክታይል ኢኒሺያል ሆሪዞንታል ኮምፖነንት እና ኢኒሺያል ቨርቲካል ኮምፖነንት ይኖረዋል ብለናል ስለዚህ ኢኒሺያል ሆሪዞንታል ኮምፖነንቱ ከv naught cos theta ጋር ተመሳሳይ ይሆናል and initial vertical component which is the same as v naught sin theta ስለዚህ the required vertical velocity vy at t is equals to 1 second ምን ይሆናል so you know v is equals to u plus min at አይደል ከዚህ ነው መነሻችን ስለዚህ vertical velocity vy is equals to v naught y minus gt አሁን እዚህ ጋር v naught y along the vertical ነው and acceleration due to gravity is acting downward ስለዚህ እሱን ማይነስ ማድረግ አሁንም እዚህ ጋር መርሳት የለባችሁም ስለዚህ vertical velocity at 1 second vy is equals to v naught y which is the same as v naught sin theta minus g times t then vy or vertical velocity at 1 second v naught ስንት ነው which is 20 meter per second multiplied by sin 30 degree minus 10 meter per second square multiplied by 1 second then vertical velocity at is equals to 1 second is equals to sin 30 0.5 multiplied by 10 which is what 10 meter per second minus 10 times 10 meter per second square times 1 second which is 10 meter per second 10 meter per second so vertical velocity at t is equals to 1 second is equals to ስንት ሆነልን 0 ሆነልን ማለት ነው 0 ሆነልን so the answer is b ስለዚህ 0 ሆነ ማለት ምን ማለት ነው ስለዚህ at 1 second ኦብጀክቱ ፕሮጀክት ከተደረገ ወይንም ከተወረወረ ከአንድ ሰከንድ በኋላ vertical velocity 0 መጣ ማለት the object is reached at the maximum height already vertical velocity እየቀነሰ ሄዶ at the maximum height vertical velocity 0 ይሆናል ማለት ነው so at t equals to 1 second the object reaches at its maximum height ከዛ it returns on the way down ወደ ታች ይመለሳል ማለት ነው ፖዚቲቭ ስፒድ እዚህ ጋር መልሳችን ፖዚቲቭ ቁጥር ቢመጣልን ኖሮ the object is still moving upward አይደል 0 መጣ ማለት the object is reached at the maximum height if it is negative the object is moving on the way down ወደ ታች እየተመለሰ ነው የሚለውን በቀላሉ ኮምፓሪዝኑን መለየት ያስፈልጋል ማለት ነው so this is all about question number 7 question number 8 a football is kicked into air at some angles በሆነ አንግል ኪክ ተደርጓል without air resistance so the horizontal velocity of the object ምን ሊሆን ይችላል horizontal velocity ስለዚህ ባለፈው ምን ብለናል the horizontal motion and vertical motions of a projectile is what treated independently horizontal motion uniform motion now or velocity is constant throughout the flight whereas vertical velocity is what decreasing on the way up in zero at the maximum height and increasing on the way down so vertical velocity does change throughout the flight ስለዚህ horizontal velocity ምንም አይነት horizontal forces ከሌለ ድረስ horizontal velocity constant ይሆናል so the component of velocity or the horizontal component of velocity is a ላይ ስንመጣ ግን 0 at the maximum point ይላል c ላይ increasing with time ይላል d ላይ decreasing with time ይላል ይህ ማለት already እነዚህ choice a choice c choice d የሚያወሩት ስለ vertical component ወይም ስለ vertical velocity ነው የሚያወሩት ማለት ነው that's why vertical velocity is decreasing on the way up and 0 at the maximum point and what increasing on the way down ስለዚህ maximum point ላይ እስከሚደርስ ድረስ vertical velocity እየቀነሰ ይመጣና at the maximum height 0 ይሆናል and vertical velocity is increasing on the way down with respect to time ማለት ነው ስለዚህ choice A choice C እና D አጠቃላይ ስለ vertical velocity ስለሚያወሩ እና choice B remains constant ስለሚል horizontal velocity ደግሞ constant ነው ማለት ነው so this is all about question number 8 ስለዚህ መልሳችን B ይሆናል ማለት ነው okay let's see question number 9 እሺ ዘጠነኛው ጥያቄ ላይ ስንመጣ if a long distance jumper athlete leaves the ground at an angle of 37 degree above the horizontal ስለዚህ የኛውንም ጥያቄ ስናይ it is categorized under inclined projection ስለዚህ inclined projection ላይ የሚካተት ከሆነ you have to identify equation of motion to determine maximum height to determine flight time to determine horizontal displacement or range እነዚህ ነገሮች በደንብ ማየት ያስፈልጋል የተለያየ equation of motion ስላለን ማለት ነው so let's see the givens question number 9 given ስናይ the athlete leaves the ground at an angle of what 37 degree so the inclination angle or projection angle is given which is 37 degree above the horizontal surface at a speed of or an initial speed which is given to the system is 10 meter per second initial speed 10 meter per second ስለዚህ መጀመሪያ አትሌቱ በ10 ሜትር per second ነው የተነሳው so the required is how far does the jump in a horizontal direction ስለዚህ እዚህ ጋር የጠየቅነው range ወይንም horizontal displacement ወይንም አትሌቱ ከተነሳበት እስከ አረፈበት ያለው horizontal distance ምን ያህል ይሆናል ነው ስለዚህ አሁን የጠየቅነው range ነው what is the maximum range which is covered by the body starting from its releasing point or initial point up to landing point ማለት ነው so የትኛውን equation መጠቀም አለብን ስለዚህ ከመጀመሪያው መነሳት ትችላላችሁ ወይንም መጨረሻ ላይ ባለፈው ክላስ derive ያደረግነውን equation መጠቀም ትችላላችሁ so when you say range or horizontal displacement r is equals to horizontal velocity vx times the total flight time where t total is the same as 2 times of what v naught sin theta over g where g is acceleration due to gravity ስለዚህ ይሄኛው total flight time ነው ልክ ኦብጀክቱ ተመልሶ መሬት ላይ ላንድ ሲያደርግ የሚኖረው ታይም ነው where vx is horizontal velocity which is the same as v naught x initial horizontal component of its velocity which is the same as what v naught times cos theta ስለዚህ already projection inclined ስለሆነ the object or the projectile has its own initial horizontal component and initial vertical component ስለዚህ resolve ስናደርገው v naught cos theta እና v naught sin theta ይሆንልናል so initial horizontal component v naught cos theta ከሆነልን simply range is equals to vx which is the same as v naught x which is v naught times what cos theta multiplied by total flight time which is 2 times of v naught times what sin theta divided by g ስለዚህ በኋላ rearrange ማድረግ ነው ያለብን ስለዚህ when we multiply this there is 2 here v naught times v naught which is v naught square times sin theta cos theta divided by g so this is the general formula ምናልባት ባለፈው ቪዲዮአችን ላይ ስናይ ይሄኛውን rearrange አድርገን 2 times of sin theta cos theta ከsin 2 theta ጋር ተመሳሳይ ስለሆነ v naught square sin 2 theta over g ብለን ሰርተን ነበር ስለዚህ አሁን ከጊቭናችን ጋር ማች የሚያደርግልን sin square thetaውን በቀላሉ ለማግኘት already sin 37 እና cos 37ን በቀላሉ ሰብስቲቱት በማድረግ ማብዛት እንችላለን ማለት ነው so range r is equals to 2 times of where v naught is what from the given 10 meter per second the whole square multiplied by what sin 37 and cos 37 degree divided by acceleration due to gravity which is what 10 meter per second square then horizontal displacement r is equals to 100 times 2 which is what 200 multiplied by sine 37, which is, yes, 0.6. 0.6 multiplied by 0.8 divided by 10. ስለዚህ እቺኛዋ ስንት ትመጣለች? 0.6 multiplied by 0.8 0. range r is equals to እቺኛዋን ስናባዛ 0.200 multiplied by 0.48 divided by 10 ይሆናል። ስለዚህ እቺኛዋ 0 ከዚህኛዋ ጋር ታፋለች። ስለዚህ ምን ቀረን? 20 ሲባዛ በ0.48 አይደል እንዴ? r is equals to 9.6 ሜትር። ስለዚህ አጠቃላይ ይህ አትሌት ከተነሳበት እስካረፈበት ያለው ሆሪዞንታል ዲስፕሌስመንት ወይንም ሬንጅ 9.6 ሜትር ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so the answer is choice C. so this is all about question number 9. question number 9. let's proceed to question number 10. ወደ 10ኛው ጥያቄ ስንመጣ a certain body is thrown upward at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal with a speed of what? 50 meter per second. ስለዚህ በባለፈው ቪዲዮአችን ላይ የተለያዩ ኢኩዌሽኖችን አይተናል። ስለዚህ ከዚህ የምንረዳው ምንድነው? the body is thrown upward at an angle of 30 degree. so this is also categorized under inclined projection. question number 10. let's see the givens. inclination angle is given where theta is 30 degree and the initial speed which is given to the object is v0 is equal to what? 50 meter per second. so what is the time the body takes to reach at the maximum height? maximum height ላይ ቦዲ ሲደርስ ቶታል ፍላይት ታይሙ ምን ይሆናል ነው። ስለዚህ ባለፈው እንዳልኳችሁ ቶታል ፍላይት ታይም ስንል ተመልሶ እዛ ፖይንት ላይ ወይንም ላንድ የሚያደርግበት ፖይንት ላይ ስንደርስ ነው። at the maximum height ከተጠየቃችሁ ደግሞ simply v is equals to u plus what? at, where v is final velocity, u initial velocity, and a is acceleration due to gravity multiplied by the time taken t. so at this point vy, vertical velocity, vy is equals to v0 y minus g times what? t. ሁሌም ይችን ማይነስ መርሳት የለብንም። that's why initial vertical velocity is acting upward and the acceleration due to gravity is acting downward, which means they are acting in opposite direction. so we have to minus one of them. ከሁለት አንዱ ማይነስ ማድረግ አስፈላጊ ነው። where initial vertical velocity v0 y is equals to v0 times what? sin theta, initial vertical velocity. then vy is equals to v0 sin theta minus gt, where vy is 0 at the maximum point. እዚህ ጋር የጠየቅነው flight time at the maximum height. ስለዚህ maximum height ላይ ደግሞ vertical velocity 0 ስለሚሆን v0 sin theta minus gt is equals to 0, which means that v0 sin theta is equals to g times t. so when you rearrange this one, the time taken at the maximum height or at h max is equals to v0 sin theta minus g ይሆንልናል ማለት ነው, which is the same as where v0 is what? 50 meter per second times what? Sine how much degree? 30 degree divided by 10 meter per second square. so let's ይሆንልናል sine 30, which is 0.5 multiplied by 60, which is what? 25. done. so 25 multiplied by, so divided by 10, which is 2.5 seconds. so this is all about flight time of the body at the maximum height. ስለዚህ maximum height ላይ ሲደርስ 2.5 ሰከንድ ይፈጅበታል። ልክ ተመልሶ መሬት ላይ ሲደርስ ወይንም ኢኒሺያል ፖይንቱ ላይ ሲደርስ የዚህን ሁለት እጥፍ ይሆንና አጠቃላይ 5 ሰከንድ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so this is all about flight time at the maximum height and total flight time when the object reaches to the initial point እያልን በቀላሉ ልዩነቱን አንደርስታንድ እያደረግን መሄድ ያስፈልጋል ማለት ነው። okay, let's question number 11. given, okay, a ball is thrown at a speed of 28 meters per second at an angle of 30 degree above the horizontal. So the ball is thrown at an angle of 30 degree with an initial speed of 28 meters per second above the horizontal. So from the given initial speed which is given to the ball is what? 28 meter per second, and the projection angle theta is equals to, yes, 30 degree above the horizontal. Above the horizontal. Okay. So the required is, what is the vertical displacement of the ball? What is the vertical displacement of the ball 2 seconds after it is thrown? ከተወረወረ ከ2 ሰከንድ በኋላ vertical displacement ምን ሊሆን ይችላል? So the required is h or height at t is equals to 2 seconds. 2 ሰከንድ ላይ height ወይም vertical displacement ምን ሊሆን ይችላል? So let's see the solution. አሁን እዚህ ጋር እንደዚህ አይነት ጥያቄ ሲሰጣችሁ ባለፈው የመጨረሻውን ኢኩዌሽን ድራይቭ ለማድረግ ሞክረናል። እዚህ ጋር ለማየት ያክል h max is equals to v naught square sin square theta over what 2 times of g ብለናል አይደል እንዴ? ስለዚህ የኛው ፎርሙላ ለምንድን ነው የሚሰራው? maximum height or what the vertical displacement of the ball at the maximum point. ስለዚህ የመጨረሻው ማክሲመሙ ነው የሚሆነልን። እዚህ ጋር የተጠየቅነው what is the vertical displacement of the ball 2 seconds after it is thrown? ከተወረወረ ከ2 ሰከንድ በኋላ height ምን ሊሆን ይችላል? ስለዚህ እንደዚህ አይነት አጋጣሚዎች ካለ ይሄኛውን ፎርሙላ መጠቀማችን፣ ምክንያቱም ይሄን ፎርሙላ ድራይቭ ያደረግነው ሲምፕሊ ቶታል ፍላይት ታይም ተጠቅመን ስለሆነ ቶታል ፍላይት ታይም ኢን ኤሴንስ 2 times of v naught sin theta over g የሚለውን ኢኩዌሽን ሰብስቲት አድርገን ድራይቭ ያደረግነው ኢኩዌሽን ስለሆነ ይሄኛውን ኢኩዌሽን መጠቀም የለባችሁም። ስለዚህ instead you have to use Sobat equation or equations of uniformly accelerated motion. So displacement s is equals to ut plus 1 over 2 at square. So from this displacement along y or h after 2 seconds is equals to v naught y times t minus 1 over 2 gt square. 1 over 2 gt square, where v naught y is the same as what? v naught times sin theta, initial vertical component. ስለዚህ h at t is equals to 2 seconds is equals to v naught y, which is v naught sin theta times t minus 1 over 2 what? gt square, where t is given, which is 2 seconds. ስለዚህ at h at t is equals to 2 seconds ምን ይሆናል? v naught, which is 28 meter per second multiplied by sin how much degree? 30 degree. Sin 30 degree multiplied by the time taken, which is 2 seconds minus half of gt square, 10 meter per second square multiplied by t square, which is 2 seconds the whole square. 2 seconds the whole square. So vertical displacement of the ball at t is equals to 2 seconds, h is equals to 28 multiplied by sin 30, which is 28 meter per second multiplied by 0.5 multiplied by 2 seconds minus 1 over 2 2 square, which is 4 divided by 2 2 ይመጣል። በ10 ስታባዙት 20 ይመጣል ማለት ነው, which is 20 meter. እዚህ ጋር ያለው ስታባዛው ምን ይመጣል? h at t is equals to 2 seconds, 28 multiplied by 0.5, which is 40, right? ስለዚህ 14 ሲባዛ በ2 ስንት ይሆናል? 28. 28 meter minus 20 meter. So h at t is equals to 2 seconds is equals to 8 meter ይሆናል። ስለዚህ ከ2 ሰከንድ በኋላ or after the ball 2 seconds after it is thrown, its vertical displacement or h is the same as 8 meter. 8 meter ይሆናል ማለት ነው. So the answer is A. The answer is A. So this is all about exam based concepts on projectile motion.